welcome to Day to Day Ray with me, your girl Ray Ray. So this is a little different video than what I'm used to doing. I've kind of been slack-a-lacking. Last week was the first week of school. I haven't even done my 1 month post-op video yet. So I'll probably do my next video, I'll do like a whole 5 weeks in one video. I'm going to be making my first sweet treat since surgery, since in a while, for the people in my house, and it's got to do something with these guys. Now, I'm not much of an avocado fan at all. I'm not. However, my husband has been on a guacamole kick. I don't like guacamole, I don't like avocados, but it is what it is. So I'm actually gonna be making, because he's like, well, I only have 2 left and we have a big thing. He's like, I don't know what to do with them. So I kind of looked online and I remember seeing an avocado mousse, but I don't have the ingredients to do that. But I do have most of the ingredients for a flourless, keto-ish, because I'm not making it like really keto, avocado brownies. So we're gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna put the recipe and stuff down below. I'm gonna do it in my food processor. So I guess let's get this show on the road. Okay, so this recipe is fairly easy mode because you're just gonna throw everything into a blender or food processor. I am using 2 small avocados. They were on the smaller side. So the original recipe says 1.5 avocados, but these were kind of small than the other ones in the bag. So that's why I just went ahead and took and used both of these avocados. And I'm just gonna scoop them out and I'm gonna put them in the processor. And then the next thing I'm going to get are eggs. You're going to need 3 eggs. And again, just put it right in the food processor, just right on top of there. Okay, the next step I tried to show you guys is a 1/2 cup of 0-calorie sugar replacement sweetener. Also, you are going to add a 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. The original recipe called for cacao. I didn't have cacao powder, so I just used my Hershey's chocolate powder, cocoa powder. The original recipe also called for a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. I put a 1/4 cup of melted butter, and I just squeezed some vanilla in there. This one said 1 teaspoon of vanilla. The original recipe also called for a 1/4 cup of almond butter, but it did say you can use peanut butter, so I went ahead and added a 1/4 cup of creamy peanut butter to the thing. Now here, I talk a little bit about this. I added 3 teaspoons of baking powder in replacement of 1 of baking soda. I touch base on that, and then here it is. Just blend it all up till it's nice and creamy. Always check the edges. I took my blade out, I got all under there, make sure it's all getting combined and everything's incorporated. It's really thick and creamy. So then you just put your blade back in and let it go again. Like I said, just make sure everything's incorporated. You really don't need to blend it that long. So like I said, pretty easy mode. Now when that's done, you're going to want to get either an 8x8 baking dish or a 9x9. I have a glass 9x9, and you should put parchment paper on it. That was like one of the key things in the original recipe, was to line the baking dish with parchment paper. So I lined it with parchment paper, and I'm just scooping the mixture out on there, and then you're going to want to spread it out and make it nice and even. I did actually get my offset spatula to help me flatten it out and make it a little bit more smoother and flat. And then you pop it in the oven in a preheated oven at 350 and let it bake. guys, so I just put the brownies in a preheated 350-degree oven. I have a timer set for 23 minutes because the original recipe said that they should bake between 22 and 25 minutes. The person, whoever wrote the recipe, said 23 worked for her. So I'm just doing 23. I'll check them and see if they need to go in for another minute or two. When they come out, it said you need to let them cool for like 15 minutes before removing them from the pan. So that's what I'm gonna do. In the meantime, I'm gonna clean up my mess and put my dishes away and empty the dishwasher and do all that good stuff. And then I will check in when they're done and they're ready to cut and get a final verdict. Also, I did put in 3 teaspoons of baking powder. The only reason why I did that is because I do not have any baking soda, and that's what the recipe called for. If you don't have baking soda but you have baking powder, you have to triple the amount of baking powder to equal what would be of the baking soda, the bicarbonate soda. So the only thing is that when you keep in mind when doing that is that if there's like more salty or acidic ingredients, you may want to cut back on them a little bit in the recipe. Like, don't add any more salt because your recipe will get a little saltier. So but I just wanted to put that little tip in there for you guys to know if you're wondering, like, what the heck is she putting? Why is she putting all that in there? So all right, well, like I said, this is my version of the recipe. It's not the exact version. I will put both versions in the description box below. We'll see how these come out. So see you soon. So I'm getting ready to take my first bite. They look so fudgy. Let me get over here so you guys can really see. Look at that. They're really soft. It reminds me more of fudge than anything else. All right, let's take a bite of these avocado brownies. I did put some sprinkles on top, but it said to use sugar-free chocolate chips. I didn't have any. All right, here we go. They're a little bitter. They do have that, a little bit of that sugar-free sweetener aftertaste, just a little bit. But believe it or not, they're not that bad. Now I can't eat a whole piece like that. My piece would be literally not even half of that, probably be a quarter of that piece. But here's where I took a bite out of it. It's for it to not have flour, it's definitely different. Kind of like the texture is not too bad. I mean, for what it is, maybe if you had some Halo Top ice cream to put on top of it, I don't think they're that bad. Like I said, the texture is definitely not a brownie texture. It's a different kind of texture. The taste isn't too bad. I think if I made these again, I would put maybe a simple, or not simple syrup, but those sugar-free syrups, just to give it a little bit more sweetness, because this is a little bit bitter. And of course it does have a little bit of the saltiness because I didn't have the baking soda. Instead I had to use triple the baking powder. So that's probably where the bitterness is coming from. But other than that, I think they're pretty good. So, not too bad. Sorry, it takes me a long time to eat, but it's really super soft. I'm not going to eat any more of it, but it's not too bad. I maybe would make this again, maybe with the original recipe. Maybe it's something different with the original, and I'll have to get baking soda, but I would try to make this again. So on that note, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I hope you enjoyed this. Is something a little different, something, I don't know, still a little treat, but something a little different. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and as always, remember to please be kind, and please be kind, because you don't know the battle that someone's going through, so don't be a dick. Alright guys, I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!